Hello beautiful people, welcome to the channel, A Life After Narc. My name's Debbie and I talk about all things to do with narcissistic, abusive and toxic relationships, as well as looking at healing from them. And today's video, straight after the narcissist breakup. And you're on your own, all of a sudden. Perhaps you woke up this morning and your partner has gone. They've left, they've taken their things. Or you got home from work and they've gone. Or perhaps you've been caring for a sick relative. You come back, they've gone. Perhaps they leave with this grand finale and everything, they make it all about them and everything's up in the air and it's like being on a TV show. Because it is all about them, for them. They're the narcissist, they're the person with these tendencies and everything in the world revolves around them. You were their supply. You have now used up your supply. It's gone. They've taken everything. So what do you do? Where do you go? Now, before I get into the body of the video, if you enjoy it, please click the like button. Please subscribe to the channel and share with your friends and family. If you would like to contact me, here's my email address, debbiewolfmoon@yahoo.co.uk. You can email me with any questions that you have. If you would like me to cover a specific topic on these videos, something that you've experienced and would like a little bit of help on. Also, if you are going to comment down below in the comment section, please be polite and kind to each other. A lot of people who watch these videos have been through a lot of painful situations and are suffering from extreme trauma. So please be kind and gentle with each other. So you're thinking, what is this? What the heck happened? What did I do? So you've had many arguments with this person in the past. You've been gaslighted. You have been future faked. You have been mentally abused, perhaps physically or even sexually abused. But this abuse is something that you have grown used to. You've grown used to this. And normally when this abuse occurs, straight afterwards or a short time afterwards, you make up and everything is back to normal as it can be again. That is called the trauma bond, and it's created through this reinforcement of this situation where you argue and then the narcissist apologizes. I won't do that again. I promise it won't happen. You get back together and a few days later the same or other such difficult things or bad things or horrible abuse happens. And the cycle continues. And so this turmoil that you're feeling, all of these horrendous emotions that you're feeling are caused by that trauma bond, because your body is programmed somatically with your hormones to expect that person to come back to you. So your body's waiting for this person to come back to you and say, I'm sorry, and let's try again. But it doesn't happen. And so this feeling that you have of them, well, they're supposed to come back because this is what always happens, is now lost. And it's this whirl of horrible energy around you that you can't seem to get rid of. You are going to feel so many emotions. And a lot of what you're going to be experiencing is similar to what we experience in the grief process, because you are experiencing grief. You have lost a relationship. You have lost somebody who you thought was your best friend, who you thought you would be with forever, who is perhaps the father or mother of your children, who you bought a house with or a car with or have a business with. Perhaps they're a family member. But this relationship is now over. And they have left you at the worst possible time in your life. Perhaps you have just been given a diagnosis that you've got a sickness, perhaps cancer, and they've gone. They don't want to deal with that. They're not getting supply from that. You're their supply. So now you're sick, well, they're not going to get anything from you, and they do not like looking after sick people, which is quite funny because you'll find quite a lot of these personality types will be in professions where they are caring for other people. It's supply. They get their supply from that. They have left you at the worst time, and they've done it on purpose. It is to make the biggest impact that they possibly can. Now, some of them, as I said, will leave you, perhaps you get home from work and they're gone. Or, you know, you've been looking after a sick relative, you get back and they've gone. And you had no idea, no inclination that this was going to happen. Now, it may have been that in the past you wanted to leave them. Now, if you have left them, you're probably still going to be experiencing these emotions, but you're in a much stronger position. You're in a powerful position because you took that initiative and left. And I wish I could have left my last narcissist. Unfortunately, I was in a circumstance where I was looking after my sick father. He passed away. After the funeral, I got home. He'd gone. No word, no letter, no nothing. Just pulled into the drive and like, where are you? Oh, I've left. Okay. So it may take you a few hours, perhaps days, to process that this is happening, and you'll be wanting and waiting for them to come back because of the trauma bond. So you are going to be thinking, well, they're going to come back because they have done before. We can fix this. We can resolve this. I'm sure we can. But they like to play games because they're still toying with you. And depending on the reason that they left, let's say they left to go into, you know, they were having an affair with somebody. So they've left and they're now with somebody else. They're probably not going to play such games with you, but you may find that their new partner begins to play games with you. Because don't forget, you're the victim, but the narcissist plays the victim, and they will play the victim to everybody else, that you were the bad person, you were the one that did everything wrong, and it's all your fault. And I can tell you now, and I promise you, it is not your fault. You are not to blame. You have been gaslighted, you have been mistreated, you have been abused in many different ways. You've been used, and it's a horrible place to be. And the longer you were with this person, the more pronounced these emotions will be with you. I was recently in a chat room, and there was a young girl in the chat room, and she'd just gone through this breakup with her partner, and they hadn't been seeing each other for very long, but he was quite a few years older than her, so he had obviously taken a lot from her in the form of supply. She was a very pretty young girl, and you know, we were all saying to her, look, you are gorgeous. You will find somebody way better than this in your life. But she didn't want to listen. And you won't want to listen to this either, because you're thinking, but I want them back. So you probably sat there with your phone or your laptop, scrolling through, looking at their social media, messaging them, chatting to them, asking them what went wrong. Maybe they're responding to you. Maybe they're not. If they don't respond to you, you get angry. If they do respond to you, they may well say things that make you angry or hurt you even more. Try not to play that game. It's hard, I know, because you want answers as to what happened. But the only answer you are going to get is that they are a horrible person, and they did it because you were no longer supply for them. They have either found better supply, or they've run away from you because of this problem that you've had. You're looking after a sick parent, you've lost your job, you've lost your money, whatever it is, there's a reason behind why they left. And they leave for the smallest thing, but to them, it's the biggest thing. But they just want supply. That's all they want, and you were their supply, and now you can't supply them any more of what they need. So, as I've said, this is the trauma bond, and this connection that you have with this person, it is so overwhelming that if you are communicating with this person through social media, looking at what they're doing, looking at what they're saying, it's probably going to hurt you even more. They may well block you, and they think, well, why have they blocked me? We've been together for 12 years. You know, all of a sudden you've lost what you thought was your best friend. And they've gone. And you want to know, well, why did they do this? So you send them a question. Why did you do this? They send you an answer back. Something, you know, well, I just didn't want to be with you anymore. Or they can be horrible and mean about it and say, awful things to you, like, oh, you're too old, you're too fat, you know, you're too lazy, you're too ugly, whatever it is, don't believe it, because it's all lies. They're just saying that to get a response and a reaction from you. It is supply to them. The best thing that you can do is block them. Block them on social media. Block them on your phone. I know you're going to want to see what they're doing. You're going to want to see how this has affected them in their life. It's not worth it. It really isn't. Because they keep using that as supply. It's their, ha, look, she's messaging me again. She wants me back. Ha, little bit of supply for them. Try not to play into that game. And with this poor young lady, we tried to tell her, you know, to move on from this, but she was in the place that you're in now. She had actually tried to end her life, was in hospital. This man was contacting her to make sure she was okay, and then he would block her. So she would contact him and not get any response. And she would keep picking up her phone and checking. And we were all saying to her, put your phone down, put it away, block them, try not to have any communication with them. But she wanted answers. She wanted to know why this had happened. Why didn't he love her? Why had he told her all of these lies before? Why? And you're going to ask the same thing. Why? The answer is simple. You were no longer a good source of supply for them. They're selfish, they're self-centered, they're egotistical, and they want what they want. If they've taken everything from you and you've got nothing more to give, they will move on to the next best thing. Which is why so many of them move on into another relationship straight away. Do you really want to see that on social media? Do you really want to see that they are happy in another relationship? Because they aren't. They may look happy, but it's exactly the same situation that you've been through. They're going to do exactly the same thing to their new partner that they did to you. It is inevitable. That's their personality trait. They will constantly do that throughout their life. And as they get older, they will look for younger people. So this is why we often have 50, 60-year-old men dating 20-year-old women. Because it's their supply. Here's this hot babe on my arm. Look at this. I'm an old man with my walking stick, but I've still got this hot babe. It's not love. It's supply. It's going to be hard. It's going to be challenging. You are going through the worst possible thing you can go through right now in your life besides a death in the family. And in fact, this may well feel like a death in the family. It certainly did for me. And it leaves you reeling with all these unanswered questions. And I can't express enough that it will take you time to get over this, but you will get over this. You will. I promise you will. So I'm going to pop some links into the description box below about trauma bond videos that I've done, also about self-healing videos that I've done, so you can have a watch of those. If you have any comments or questions that you would like to ask, please pop them in the comments below or email me again at debbiewolfmoo@yahoo.co.uk. The best thing you can do right now is let them go. I know it's hard because you put all of your effort and joy into this person, but they have shown how little they feel for you. Yes, they pretended. They may have loved you immensely at the beginning, but now they're showing their true colours. Stay strong. Be strong. Stay strong for yourself, for your family, for your life. You will heal through this. I promise you. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, please click the like button. Please subscribe to the channel. I hope to see you next time. Blessed be.